Hey, man.
Hello.
Welcome to Fight Week. How you feeling?
Feel great. Thank you.
Feel great?
Yep.
Excited to get back in there. Excited to be in Ohio.
Yes, exactly. And I heard this crowd. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I missed it.
We've asked a few of the guys about that today. Is there any way for you to tell how much you've missed it until you get out there on Saturday night?
But I don't know. It's probably hard to explain because I was focused on like on my training and fighting for so long. It's not that exciting when you're not doing something and it's like happened like that. But it's exciting for me because it's gonna be probably the biggest crowd I ever had in my fights. Yes, and when I thinking of that, like when I imagine this in my head, that's exciting. That's gonna be cool for sure.
Well, you're still pretty young in your career here, so I mean, in theory, it only goes up from here for you. But talk about sort of your rise here in the last year. I mean, it's happened pretty quickly.
Excuse me. What?
Your kind of your rise to this prospect status. It's happened pretty quickly. Can you talk about how that's gone for you?
Yeah, this part wasn't that hard because I'm fighting for my whole life, and as I worked on being in UFC, I was thinking of that nonstop and dreaming about that. And any hype after fight wasn't that hard. But right before the fight, my first my UFC debut, the night before was super tough. Because when hype coming like this too quick, that was tough. I like kind of was a little bit confusing and shaking. I even called my grandmom. So hey, I'm scared. What's going on? She's like, hey, come on, don't be scared. Everything will be all right. Just go do whatever you do always. Yes. And now I'm pretty ready. Now, even if it's like getting more and more, I'm ready for that mentally.
Uh, Tell me about the conversation you called your grandma to say, I'm scared for this fight.
I mean, I'm not. I wasn't scared about fight. I just
scared about the moment. I guess
the most scary part when you can't understand why you're scared, why you're nervous. That was a hard part because I was so nervous, so scared about why. I'm always fighting. I'm doing it all the time. I'm not scared of getting hit or fighting. I just scared. I don't know why, and that was confusing. That's why I called my grandma. I said I didn't explain much, and she didn't talk about this a lot. I mean, she's not fighter, but I mean, she just tried to support me anyway. That's it. And maybe I try to not think of that, but sometimes when you dreaming about something so bad and you finally get this, it could be hard if you're not ready. And probably that's what inside I maybe not realize it, but maybe inside I thought I'm ready or not for that. Yes, finally I have that. It's cool, but do I ready? Maybe I'm not, and maybe that's start bothering me a little bit.
When you went out there, obviously you seemed very ready for it, right?
Yeah.
Talk about that and kind of having that sort of behind you now, and having the pressure of that debut behind you, and now you can just kind of look forward.
Yes, now much easier. Do not overthinking of that because when it's happened first time, I was overthinking of everything. All this hype, or should I show everybody? Yes, it was an accident. Why I'm in UFC? Now I don't worry about this anymore. It won't bother me. Now I'm just do my business. I'm businessman here.
When you thought early in your career about how your career might go, did you think that this would be how it would happen for you? That you'd get to the UFC this quickly, and that I guess that you'd be on this solid of a run this early on in your career?
Yeah. Yes. Of course. That's almost everything what happened. I expected that. I was dreaming about that, and I try every time when I passed any goals. I try dreaming even bigger and bigger. If you dream not big enough, you just bullshit. You won't reach any goals. You have to dream big and bigger and bigger. It's only how you can climb up.
So you mentioned climbing up and getting bigger. Talk to me about your opponent, and he seems like he's kind of the next step up in level of opponent from what you just had. And I'm sure as you go on, they'll get bigger and bigger and bigger. So talk to me a little bit about what he brings to the table, and I guess what you thought about him as an opponent when you got the call and knew that it was him.
Oh yeah, that's actually I think it's a great matchup. Like UFC really know what they do. The very first time when I just heard about it, I thought, oh, it's going to be cool. It's going to be like fist fight, like back and forth because he's striker too. But now I think like he going to try wrestle me. But anyway, it's for sure like this guy. I respect him and seems like he's always entertainment. Every fight doesn't matter he losing or winning, he always entertainment and he always fight against anybody. Like doesn't matter who he going to fight, who he like I mean he tough and I like this. I believe it's gonna be really good fight for me and good experience.
He said he thinks that his edge over you will be his level of experience and kind of who he's been in there with. Is that something that you look at and concern yourself with, that he's got more time in that cage than you do?
You know, yeah. If we say about MMA world, I don't have like that big experience, but I work with a great team, maybe the best team in the world, Team Alpha Male, and I mean, we work so hard on this like MMA aspects, all wrestling, grappling, jiu-jitsu. And if we talk about fights, come on, guys, my first fight was in 2002. Like, I mean, this my fight experience like so big. That's what I'm doing my whole life, and I don't think it's really enough and super new for me.
Appreciate it. Thank you, man.
Thank you.
Hey, Slava, how are you? You talked a little bit of Team Alpha Male. How much does it mean to have guys like Uriah Faber in the room helping you? Obviously, you've got great striking, but being in the room with guys who are so well-rounded, so experienced, what does that mean to you?
Oh, it's mean a lot. This I'm so like thankful. I mean, I'm so happy. I'm part of exactly this team, and as more I'm living in Sacramento, I realize like, oh, I'm in the right place. I work with right people, and actually everything what we used to talk about happened. Just, I mean, you know, I even feel like Uriah know about myself more than I do. I mean, and also when we talk about wrestling and how I feel in a fight, it's won't usually it won't surprise me that much because that's how I feel every single training in a Team Alpha Male. Everybody wrestle me every time.
What does a regular training schedule look like? Obviously, you know, it might be more wrestling heavy, more striking heavy. What does a regular week look like to you?
No, usually it's yeah, it maybe a little jiu-jitsu drills in the morning. It's a regular class. It depends what day is it. Like sometimes it's MMA, sometimes it's just wrestling, sometimes it's just striking. Like Monday it's MMA, Tuesday it's wrestling, Thursday it's striking, and Friday it's wrestling again. And also I do some or extra classes or extra work, like personal work with coaches. I start seems my first fight in UFC, my MMA, my UFC debut. I start work a lot on my strength with Darren. Like we have like one coach in our gym, and I mean like I try and improve my power a lot too.
Speaking of Darren's, how are the rounds with Darren Elkins and stuff like that? Is he as crazy in the gym as he would be in the cage?
Yeah, this is one of the scariest men in this planet, and I really appreciate having him in the team.
Thank you. Appreciate it.